All right, Chicago shootings, Father's Day shootings. On Father's Day weekend, at least 71 were shot, 9 fatally from Friday to Monday across the city, police say. Now, what did Let's Go Brandon Johnson, who did he blame? What did he say? He blamed the prior administration. This is all their fault. He's always blaming somebody else for issues in his city. Let's watch a little video.
Victims of gun violence is expanding to more Chicago communities. The announcement today comes on the heels of a weekend where more than 70 people were shot.
In a time of great loss and trauma, these funds provide much-needed relief and stability for residents and families.
All told, the city will be investing $10 million over the next 3 years to help victims of gun violence deal with some of their most immediate needs after being injured. The Emergency Supplemental Victims Fund will provide $1,500 to families of gun violence victims to help.
This is such nonsense. Such nonsense. Hey, how about you deal with people that are shooting others, incarcerating them, arrest them, prosecute them, incarcerate them, instead of giving $1,500 for a funeral, instead of $1,000 for a shooting victim. So backwards.
Help cover funeral and burial costs. Shooting victims can receive $1,000 to cover immediate needs, including medical bills, groceries, and temporary relocation expenses. Kevin Edwards was shot 5 times last summer and got much-needed help through the program.
It helped me to get to my bills and pay some of my bills off, and I was able to live off that for a little while.
How about if you weren't shot in the first place? How about that? Yeah. That's what we need to work on here. That's not happening. It's this, we know everybody's just going to shoot each other. So let's give you a little bit of money and, we'll kind of work this over and good Lord, we'll hope that it gets better.
The investments that we do make.
Today, the mayor angrily denouncing all the violence.
This crisis did not show up with simply a bullet. This crisis showed up when previous administrations decided to give up on these communities.
The finger pointing, a freak.
It's previous administration's fault. That's who we got to blame. Yeah. No, we're not buying it. They're not buying it. Chicago's not buying it. Nobody's buying it. But you know what? When it comes to voting at the polls, still going to go down the same road. Let's Go Brandon Johnson. He got elected on a soft on crime approach. He's a progressive. What did you think would happen? Yeah.
Frequent talking point for the mayor when addressing violence.
The last 2 presidents were unable to adequately address the problem, but now it's on his desk and he is the mayor. So I think people are looking to him for leadership and they're not looking to him for blame gaming.
The mayor bristled when asked why he had nothing to say on Monday after the violent weekend.
People of Chicago want action. We've been hearing words from administrations for so damn long in this city without action. People are tired of it. So we invest in people. The people deserve more than just words.
The challenge is that his investments and his solutions will take a long time, years, if not decades.
Forever. And that's if they ever work. You got to investing in people, that's great and all. But you got to have a little pushback on people just shooting each other willy-nilly. The shootings in Chicago are just, of historic shenanigan level. Right? It's nutty.
Decades. And people are worried about their safety now.
A challenge for Mayor Johnson, just like it was for previous mayors.
Watch breaking news on you.
I'm not saying by any means that Let's Go Brandon Johnson can really do anything about it. I think some of these issues there are so big that it's going to take a monumental overhaul for a city like Chicago. It's just gotten kind of used to, 71 people got shot over the weekend. 9 of them are dead. Big city crime. They like to shoot each other. That's just kind of what we're doing. Here we are. Johnson blames previous leadership for Chicago's current situation. Left with the chaos and the mess. Yeah, but you didn't exactly say that you're going to step up and really start incarcerating folks, did you? No. That's not really what we're doing in Chicago. So Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson blames predecessor and right-wing extremism for city woes. Okay. Yeah. Well, let's see. How do we spin 71 shootings within Chicago, 9 murders over Father's Day weekend. How do we spin that as right-wing extremism? What are you going to do? Blame gun control? Doesn't Chicago have some pretty strict gun control? How's that working out for you? How is that working out? It's not. I mean, it's laughable at best. Let's point the finger at anything other than taking responsibility. Now, we're always talking about transparency, fully taking responsibility for issues that you caused. Well, you've been in office for a while, and what have you done? You've done some investing in the community. You've done some investing in people. So if you're to tell those 71 gunshot victims, hey, but I invested in the community, what do you think their response would be? Would they go, oh, good Lord. All right. Well, I guess that makes up for the bullet hole in my arm. Yeah, that I just randomly got because I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And Chicago is essentially a shooting gallery. Let's just check in on Hey Jackass Chicago just real quick. All right. So weekend progress. That's the 16th to the 22nd. Shot and killed 19. Shot and wounded 89. Total shot 108. That is this week. Total homicides 19. Yeah. June to date. See if you can see that. It's on the far left upper corner there. 41 shot and killed in June. 235 shot and wounded. Total shot 276. Total homicides 43 in June. In June. Just 1 month. 1 month. But hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's blame Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice did it. It's her problem. And whoever was there before Beetlejuice, I don't even know, right? Let's blame her. You know what? Let's blame the far right extremists. I mean, they got to have something to do. They've got guns too. Do they have guns? Don't even know. Right-wing extremism for city woes. Chicago mayor blames migrant crisis on Texas Governor Abbott. Take a look in the mirror. There's this massive blame game. It's so terrible. It's look at them. Look at them. Texas Governor Abbott, he didn't create the situation where the southern border was just wide open. He has done the opposite. And he actually just started shipping out those migrants. And then everybody realized, oh, wow, this really is a problem. Shockingly, this is really, truly an issue. Now that I've virtue signaled that we're a sanctuary city in a sanctuary state, good Lord, this is expensive taking care of all these illegals. So let's blame Governor Abbott for the mess. It's just this enormous blame game, right? I mean, it's so standard. Chicago blames car makers as thieves live stream thefts. I believe I did that as a podcast as well. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson has a plan to tackle soaring car thefts in the city. Sue the automakers. Oh, that's genius. That's just absolutely genius, right? City has filed a civil suit against Kia Corporation and Hyundai Motor Company for failing to include engine immobilizers in various models, causing a steep rise in vehicle thefts, reckless driving, property damage, and a wide array of related violent crimes in Chicago. We all know that Kia and Hyundai, there's a way you can exploit their security, and you basically put a USB drive in the car's system, and you can override it and just basically start the car and steal it. So we know that. But the real issue is if there were laws on the books that were actually enforced and people were being incarcerated for auto theft, then they wouldn't be doing it just willy-nilly. The shenanigans wouldn't happen the way that they are. Same thing here in Washington State. Same thing in California. I mean, California right now has got that repeal of Proposition 47. And that's a big deal, because that is the proposition that has basically ushered in this era of just lawlessness in California. Here you've got, let's go, Brandon Johnson, literally blaming the particularly hard hit Chicago auto theft situation on car manufacturers. How asinine is that, right? How asinine is that? Now, it's not that different than blaming a past administration for the violence problem, right? At some point in time, though, you got to take personal responsibility, and you basically got to drop the hammer and say, hey, there's not a ton I can do about this that's going to happen, this month or next month, but here's what we're working on. And it's something more than this investment in the community. I hear the investment in the community a lot from the inner city communities, and I don't disagree with that. But what I disagree with is that isn't necessarily a solution to the problem at hand, which is you got a bunch of knucklehead criminals running around just doing their shenanigans willy-nilly, and there's no repercussions for them. So what are you going to do to get tough on those individuals? If you wanted to, you could drop the hammer, just like San Francisco can drop the hammer and clean an area up for a couple of weeks. If need be, that should be happening all the time. Take your police force, make it a number one priority to go after everybody who shoots somebody, prosecute them, incarcerate them. But we're not going to do that, are we? No. Oh, no. The optics on that. Oh, good Lord. That wouldn't be good. Actually putting people back in jail? No, not doing that, right? We're just not doing that. So then you got to come up with the scapegoat for what you're talking about. And it's them. They did it. Oh, it's them. It's the car manufacturers. It's not the fact that you've got a weak on, crime approach. Heavens no. Can't take personal responsibility. When the criminals know that the world is their oyster, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go out and steal, because that's what criminals do. This whole blame game thing has got to stop. But it's not gonna, is it? It's not gonna. Because actually taking responsibility, that's not really in the realm of a progressive, and that's just not what they do. They want to blame somebody else for problems that they've created, that they've maybe not created directly, but they've enabled to further, the situation. And the fact that you've got as many shootings as you do, it's a direct hit on, well, nothing has changed. What would we expect? Right? What would we expect? I don't know. What's it going to take? What's it going to take for this to get turned around in Chicago? For a governor, for a mayor to not have to play the blame game and go, hey, numbers are down. This is how we did it. Yeah. What's it going to take to get to there? Let me know in the comments. That's it for me on this one. Thanks again for being here. We'll catch up on the next one. Bye for now.